the voice line spam, man.
You just gotta let the players do the talking for a little bit at the start. But yeah, early harass being exchanged in the bottom lane. Fata with the Orb of Venom, playing in the off lane, not normally where he is, but he's a hero that can actually kind of match up and trade blows with this Bristleback pretty effectively when he has 8 base armor, and Quill Spray is, of course, physical damage. So,
and you don't want to be trading versus a Chen lane, so
yeah,
generally speaking, that is going to go poorly for you.
Yeah, and we saw this before. He goes Holy Persuasion level 1. He grabs the range creep, and he's going to be looking to try and use this to give a lot of early last hits, since you do get the bonus damage on that creep that you pick up.
Yeah, early moments here, but Gabby definitely taking some punishment. March does have some tangos he can hand off to him if needed. We'll take a look at our top lane here real quick. KP going to be playing the off-lane Omni Knight, trying to keep the pressure on the Night Stalker early, and Tim's on the Shadow Demon. Getting a lot of stacks on Handskin. It is very annoying to lane against this support Shadow Demon. But they've rotated in Fata, and they're going to look to punish it. They know he doesn't have Disruption. Nowhere to go. Might be giving up the first blood, good old Tim's. And he will be finished off. So that does give them an opening here bottom. They're going to try to pressure 33. Gabby diving for this, has a mango. Do they commit? He pops it. He wants to dive. The creep blocks, though, by 33. Pretty good, keeping the Bristle out of range. No, not enough. So TNC, instant reaction. And at the end of the day, a support for an off-lane Chen. They'll be happy with that.
Yep. Chen's going to immediately TP back in, as Gabby also steals his range creep. So 33, we'll see what he looks to do. He cannot afford to die when he's just TP back in. Gabby's mana a little bit low, but he just picked up a bottle as well, so he's got regen thanks to that.
Yeah, interesting pickup.
Yeah, I quite like it. You can get it early on. He actually passes it to his Coddle, so Coddle's going to go looking for runes. Unfortunately, the 2-minute rune spawns top, or they would have had it.
KP in all kinds of trouble. This tri-lane still in effect. Does not have the point in Heavenly Grace yet. He went for that degen R harass, but he's pretty nimble with the boots.
Yeah, this is offlaners 101. Just know your way around the trees, know which ones to cut to break through, and yeah, KP's a pro at this.
You might kill me, but I'll be gone a long time.
Yeah. At some point, it's like he's just creating a lot of space, distracting the supports, and Tim's is contesting the lane, so you're not too unhappy about this if you're TNC.
Hanskin's still wanting to pursue him, and finally just gets tired of it and heads off to the neutrals, it looks like. They do find him. There's the stun. Hanskin's like, let me pull first, then we'll kill.
KP's going to pull the creep wave away, though.
Messing with the aggro a bit.
He's got the
salving up. Space created for your very fat Tim Shadow Demon, who's doing a spot of stacking here with Shadow Poison. They will finally lose KP.
So, nice bit of wasted time that KP causes there. He's going to be able to TP back into the lane. And someone was at least contesting the farm in the lane as well with the Shadow Demon there. So,
getting their early stacks, obviously Shadow Demon, one of the best supports at clearing these. Keeper of the Light, very good later on, and you've got a Bristle, so lots of heroes who can take advantage of stacks.
Yeah, Bristle is having a fantastic time in his lane, 24 last hits. Chen not having a good time, but it's kind of what we saw last time, where the Chen didn't really have the greatest laning stage, but just rushed level 7 Holy Persuasion max and picked up some creeps and then started just pushing towers.
Do you see him being able to do the exact same thing this time around with the Bristle back in the game?
Not as effectively. Bristle's going to have a very fast Vanguard, which is a great item to just play the lane against a Chen with 4 creeps. The Quill stacking means you can clear out the Chen creep army because you're hitting all 4 of his creeps. And I do feel like the Bristle was a really good idea against this Chen.
Fata snagging an invis. Looks like Tim's just scouted him out. Yeah, and Armel will back away.
Yeah, TNC have been really hoping for that rune to spawn bottom because March has that bottle of the Bristleback.
Definitely make sure you get some bounty runes at least.
Yes.
Which they should be in good position to secure here. And maybe a Chen creep could deny.
That's true, yeah. You got to make sure you don't let Chen get too up in your face with them.
KP's got the point in Heavenly Grace now. Be a tougher kill, but they are going to chase him out with the Edict damage rolling in. And KP going to go down again. This support Lesh been potent, been banned fairly frequently. We've seen DJ have a lot of success with it for Fnatic, and now you see why.
And even this 5-position Ogre as well for Fata, it's, have that 5 with a stun. That was the Alliance draft that kind of fumbled, was when they didn't have stuns.
Fata trying to mess with the stacks here, and KP looking to punish. They are going to snag the bounty top. but Gabby gets the one bottom, bottles it up, so should be a likely 2 for 2, but the chase is on. They're actually looking for kills here with KP marching in onto Fada, clubbing away at the Ogre. Hanskin snags the rune. Fada will make it back to the safety of the cliff and retreats out.
They gotta be careful now. Night Stalker has phase boots, and it is nighttime, so even though he's only level 4, 2 points in Void, 2 points in Hunter of the Night, if he rotates, he has a lot of kill potential with the 2 supports.
Nice value shrine here. 3 heroes getting the benefits, but leaving Armel the lane for a moment. So yeah, 33 level 4. He is going for that Helm of the Dominator rush that we saw last time. And mostly off the lane. So like you said, Bristle just having a grand old time. 41 CS, topping the charts already.
When they run this tri lane, 33 gets completely sacked. And this happened even when they weren't doing this Chen who could jungle. We saw it when he was playing like the Legion Commander, where he was like bottom 3 net worth. Alliance, more than any other team, are running these tri lanes to secure farm for Nico Baby because he is that kind of key hard carry player for them. Even though this game he's not really on the traditional hard carry, he is playing the Night Stalker. They just know that 33 is a great player as far as recovering and playing from behind.
They start to farm the stacks up now. Fada moving in, Hanskin coming through as well, and Nico Baby joining the party. The good defensive disruption. At the Shrine, this is kind of a tough fight. However, he didn't get much healing during that time as the Shrine was tapped while he was banished. The Blinding Light beautifully done by March, pushing them all back. The Poison stacking up, only level 1 though. Stun comes through, another banish. TNC very irritating to finish them off. Do we even see the Bristleback consider a rotation in? Tim's should be the takedown. He wants to take Fada with him, just missing on that last Shadow Poison. And in fact, they go back for KP, who has overstayed his welcome, tried to go back in, greedily looking for the kill on the TPing hero. And he will pay with his life.
Nice rotation coming in from Alliance. We've seen Limp be a very active mid laner throughout this entire tournament.
But Gabby got a tier 1 while that was happening, so that's the reason why he did not TP.
Exactly, yeah. He was really pressuring. That's the siege creep wave, so he wanted to make sure he got it with the siege creep. Chen made some nice plays to draw aggro off the tower, almost killed the siege creep, but Gabby was more than willing to just tank it up. He has a Vanguard completed. He is very spooky.
Double D ward here, 1 for TNC, 1 for Alliance earlier. Fada did smoke to get that ward down, but March was very well prepared, wants to protect their triangle and allow them to continue farming stacks.
Talked a bit about how 33 is kind of left alone and having a tough time, but end of the day, he's got a lot more farm to his name than KP's Omni. He's the one who's really been shut down. He's tried to play the lane with the help of the support, but 0-3, not much farm. 800 net worth behind the Chen, his counterpart.
Yeah, this is definitely a rougher start than he had last time. I think the first couple minutes of the lane were hard, but he's been mostly kept off the lane the entire time. So, you know, looking at the way the lineups are going to match up, Gods, you mentioned Nico Baby on a different hero here in the Night Stalker. Do you see him being able to take over the game when he does get the Aghanim Scepter? Is it that kind of Night Stalker game?
Absolutely. I think it's more as a team they're going to take over the game. They're going to have such a strong 5-man Death Bowl lineup. Chen's going to have a mech or a pipe, of lads, those team-oriented items. We saw him get like all 4 of those things last time he played this hero. And Night Stalker with the Axe, at that point they're just too difficult to team fight into. The AoE Void combined with the Chen creeps and auras and all that. He's likely going to get some magic resist creeps if he's worried about the magic damage, but there actually isn't that much. It's more the physical, the bristles, so we may want to prioritize more some of the armor items. The mech, the buckler, that AoE heal.
Oh, they catch out KP here. Good chain stun. Nico Baby coming through with the Void. Nice purification. Blinding Light again, such a nuisance, but Alliance are committed to this one. Diving for the Omni Knight. Another Void available. They'll lob it out and should get the kill with the double stun. Didn't need the second. So Alliance now rotate with the Death Prophet. Exorcism online. But Gabby is shoving in that bottom lane, so he'll be looking for some tower pressure of his own on a tier 2.
I'll have to see if Gabby chooses to come to any fights. He doesn't have any mana right now, but theoretically, if he TPs to where the Keeper of the Light is, he can get that 250 Chakra magic boost.
Yeah, Limp doesn't want to give up this tower. He has already TP'd off of the tier 1 push.
Yeah, now you know your towers are safe. The Chen also in the jungle. Chen, level 7 now, has plenty of farm to his name. Beauty of Chen, we saw him earlier, he was just killing Ancients. Like, that's like one of the few heroes in the game that can just kill Ancients at like level 4. Even like level 3, when just 2 creeps he was doing it, so. Gives him a lot of catch-up gold and experience. Here come the bounty runes, though.
Alright, they're bringing in the Chen army. grabbing the bounties. Do they look to start pressuring tier 1s? It is daytime now, so
They're
not sure. Looks like they're just going to farm.
Yeah. There's no rush for them. Ultimately, they want to just hit their timing, and while they could maybe commit a lot of heroes to take a tier 1, it actually sets them back if they 5-man too early, because you're not getting a lot of the farm on the map, and you're also losing out on a ton of experience. 5 heroes in one lane, or even if it's 4 heroes, let's say, means none of those heroes are progressing item-wise. Last game when they were in this core Chen, their timing came when like Chen had 3 or 4 big items. They want to get an Ags on Night Stalker. They want to get more levels. Alliance knows they don't need to rush pushing these towers. They don't give you that much gold to really matter when the experience right now matters just as much.
We'll see what Gabby's next pickup is. Looks like he's got a hood queued up. Would be a very good pipe game for somebody to build. I guess ideally, perhaps the Omni Knight grab, but KP is struggling right
Gabby's
now.
being
0-4. Yeah, they are going to go on the Bristleback. They have the chain stun, and they will bring him down with ease. That's a big pick for Alliance.
They threw an Exorcism. I'm not 100% sure they needed it. They did feel like they had damage issues, but triple Centaur stun with the Ensnare.
The Spirit Siphon is very effective against Bristleback.
Ultimately, perhaps he was a little bit scared that rotations were going to come, because it does take them a long time to kill Bristle. And a little bit of Exorcism left. He's going to try and chip this tier 1 bottom tower, but it's about to expire, so unlikely.
Meanwhile, Armel trying to put pressure elsewhere. He's pushing in mid, and they have been using Diabolic Edict up top to bring this tower low. Hanskin trying to dance around it. KP soaking up some of that damage and almost in deny range. So both teams trying to finish off tier 1s without committing too hard.
At this stage, this game feels like it's gone a little bit smoother for Alliance. They're just making these cleaner rotations, killing off the Bristle, who's top net worth, getting a few kills here and there. And they're not even hitting that first, like, scary item timings. They're coming soon, and that's when they're really going to start to barrel down some lanes and push towers.
7-1. Looks really good for Alliance, as you said, but only 1,000 gold lead. I think for me, the big concern is KP on the Omni Knight. 0-4. Had a very rough time here in the off lane. Doesn't have much farm to show for it. And Omni Knight up against quite a bit of silence and burst later on in the game. They do have some defensive saves, but you'd like him to be able to stay in the fights longer.
Yeah, he's going to have to position very carefully.
Tough against the Night Stalker.
Just chuck that Heavenly Grace on someone like the OD and play on the very outskirts of a fight. But even though TNC feel like they're playing kind of like very farm-oriented right now, it's still going okay for them. They're not making plays because they don't need to until the push starts coming their way. Bristle's happy just to farm his core items. Same for the OD.
Oh, they're smoked. And it's going to be Fada who breaks it, as he so often does. They will lob out a Purge. Follow-up should come from Armel, but the Ignis here might let them a 2-for-1 special. Hanskin trying to run away, gets blinding lighted right back into the middle of it. Excellent job by March, securing that +1 kill. So a tier 1 down mid, 2 heroes killed off in the gank, and Alliance not really online yet. Ag still a little ways off. The Chen working towards his, looks like, mech.
And they're ganking Nico, baby, before he can finish this. He has got Dark Ascensions, though.
It's a long cooldown, though. Big deal forcing him to use it.
Yeah, definitely worthwhile. Very typical safe lane carry Night Stalker play. You just farm your lane, they 3-man gank you, you pop ultimate to run away. It's still worth it because his Ags timing is so key that dying is not something worth saving your ultimate for, so he'll head back to the jungle, use his ulti to farm a little bit faster with the bonus
they don't
damage.
want to give up this tower. Gabby's come into the bottom lane and will not be denied. He charges right into the entire Chen army, eats an Exorcism, eats a Spirit Siphon, double chain stun coming out from the Centaurs, but they're getting low to the Quills. Got to be careful with your Chen army. 33 is going to pop his ultimate, and Gabby much more durable now with that hood, with the Omni Knight sitting behind him. They can't even really bring him to half HP.
Yeah, the AoE Quills against Chen's creep army. You can see there how effective it can be.
Did get the last hit on the tower, at least.
Gank up top. They've got a banish out on Limb.
Death Prophet in far. There are no saves here. Nico Baby can maybe get the Tim's kill in return. Good banish. And no Dark Ascension. He's just going to have to walk his way in. The Daystalker on the hunt. Tim's, a Void, a Salve to counter it, and now Armel's coming in. Has Nico Baby overextended? No, Armel wants to be careful.
It's nighttime soon. Bounty Rune's also spawning in 10 seconds, so these teams want to brawl.
And KP charging in up front. Got to respect those silences.
He's just throwing his spells, knowing like, I'm about to get silenced, let me just make sure I get these off.
So looks like Gabby's going to at least grab one bounty rune bottom. I believe the other one denied by the Chen creep.
Yeah. So it was a 2-for-1 bounty rune exchange.
TNC are very committed to defending these towers. You know, they TP in the bristle bottom, don't get the deny, but we're hoping for it. They fight hard to try and hold this tier 1 top.
Yeah. And they drafted good heroes to defend towers with. Both their supports have this AoE wave clear, and Chen going for the armor items against the bristleback means there isn't a pipe coming anytime soon. He went for the fast buckler into mech, so he's itemizing for the bristle, which I think is a bigger priority than the Shadow Demon or the Coddle. But it does mean there isn't any magic resistance. Last time we saw this, he had all those magic resistance creeps.
So they're going to lead with KP up top. Starts hammering away at the tier 1. Armel's behind him, along with March. So 3 heroes up top. Gabby keeping the pressure on mid. It is nighttime, and Ags is online. Chen, mech about to be completed. Exorcism up in 20. Is it go time for Alliance now? Or do you just keep on farming?
With it being nighttime, absolutely. They should be looking to play around this mech. They're very strong as a 5-man unit. But
okay, P, he's got Heavenly Grace, but he's charged in very deep. March is there with the backup, gets him out to safety. Nico Baby just content to farm the enemy woods for now. And Tim's trying to hold that lane back from a very defensive position here, almost at the tier 3 tower.
This feels like the big struggle for Alliance is, can they even 5-man push into the bristle? If he just plonks himself in front of a push, it's very hard to get through him.
Gabby is marching in. They got the banish on Handskin. He's going to drop. They bring in Nico Baby. This is the opportunity for Alliance. Nice silence, but the blast back into the Ignis. Gabby stands his ground, doesn't want to eat that Spirit Siphon, gets out of range of it, but he is taking quite a bit of damage. Defensive banish, but they got to stick around if they want to keep him alive. They don't have a point in the Guardian Angel yet. Gabby might need that. Oh, Omni Knight just melting. The Chen stun comes through. Armel getting forced back, trapped up for days. The Purge, is it going to be enough? Nico Baby just keeps on hammering away at Tim's, trying to finish him off. Pushes them back with a blinding light, but now March is going to have to run for dear life. Won't make it out. That's going to be 4 heroes cleaned up as Alliance descend en masse. The one hero they could have kills the Bristle, but they basically just ignored him.
Yeah. And there's the answer to, can they go team fight now with their items up, their Chen Mech and the Night Stalker Ags, and it's a resounding yes. Gabby survives with the help of an Invis rune. Fata had sentries there, just didn't put him down because they were so focused on killing the other heroes, and ultimately ignoring the Bristle is a very good approach to a fight. They kill off the rest of the TNC side. Gabby gets a straggler kill on the Lesh track, but trading your Lesh for those 4 kills, Alliance will be very happy about.
TNC got to be more careful now. They can play around this Exorcism cooldown, as well as the Hand of God and the Dark Ascension, so maybe we'll see them make a move, but it is nighttime, and they have to be feeling a little less confident after that last engagement. Still a ways off from their pipe on KP. They'll be working towards that. They just grabbed an Aether Lens on Tim's. Setting up around the Roche pit.
Yeah, are they going for this? It seems like with Exorcism down, they feel like they're the stronger of the 2 teams. And I kind of agree. Whenever there's no Exorcism,
and they've got a DD right now, so this is a quick Roshan to be sure.
It's been scouted with the scan though. Alliance, they're rotating over with a smoke.
Oh, they want to take this fight. They're ready to rumble. The Roche is quite low though, down to about a 1/4 HP, down to like a 10th HP, almost dead. And Gabby gonna snag it. No, Armel gets the snatch. The last hit actually went to the Dire. I think it was a Nico Baby nuke or something, but TNC now getting forced back. Gabby, they're out in front. He did not get the Aegis where you normally think he'd be the one going for it. Tanking the whole Chen army. He's fine though. Nico Baby cleaning up on the sidelines. He gets the Shadow Demon. Now turning back. Isolating Gabby amongst the Chen army. There, KP finally has the ultimate. Sucks them back into the Ignis with the help of March. Blinding Light pushing some backlighters away. But this DP is standing strong. Exorcism was committed, and they chase forward looking for more. Nico Baby flying high. Gets up to 3 Hero Void. Hammer drop, not enough, and they keep on going. Gabby still alive but low, and finally finished off. They get him once. That's going to be 4 dead with the Aegis coming back for a second death. Armel also pounded down. And was it worth it, gods? It looks like not.
Nico Baby, AoE Void, online. He's just destroying this fight. He took a lot of damage there, but he dealt out just as much. Him and Limp both doing around 4,000 damage in that fight. And Alliance with a resounding teamfight victory. The sustain they have from all the like Chen regen that he's providing. He didn't even have or use Hand of God in that teamfight and still won it convincingly.
Yeah, they stole the Roshan kill. They pop the Aegis. They get a total of 4 kills, including both of the carries on the TNC side. And now the question is, how do TNC take these fights when Exorcism is online?
It feels like they really need BKBs. The silences are just so annoying to play into. It reduces Bristleback's damage output so significantly, and OD's even more so. He is all magic, or all spell reliant damage. If he can't use his Arcane Orb, can't drop his ultimate because he's silenced, that's a big problem. So triple silence on the Dire side, something that has to be addressed. Oh, sorry, double silence.
Nico Baby is going to grab a BKB of his own. Now looking at the Blink Dagger as the next pickup. We'll see Limp on his way to an Aghanim Scepter, the 33 Chen with the Vlads complete. Greaves are next, so the Auras start to stack up here, and now you can really see the Alliance Death Ball coming into its own in the mid-game. TNC just don't seem to have the firepower to stand up against them. Like the Bristle mostly being ignored in these fights and just not doing quick enough damage against the Chen. All that spread damage just healed right up.
Where as much as the Bristles is here, you can flop in front to stop pushes, his damage can be so well dealt with because of the Chen AoE heals.
And they don't really have that much single target burst. Like Armel sitting at 9k net worth, only has a Kaya Veil. He's just not there yet.
Yep. He's going to be going for the Hurricane Pike, so prioritizing a bit more ability to deal damage and position himself over the BKB.
Well, there's BKB number 1. Gabby grabs it for TNC.
They've got the pipe on KP as well. He's at least back in base, so we'll see that thing flowing out soon.
Definitely a nice item to have versus the Night Stalker, but you still have to worry about this Death Prophet Exorcism. They'll need a well-timed Guardian Angel, I suppose.
Yep.
To deal with all that physical damage.
And it's been a tough game for KP to... He can't use his spells at the ideal times. Like, you don't normally want to preemptively Heavenly Grace. You want to use it to...
turn the fight.
Yeah, turn the fight, purge off like a stun, like an Ogre stun or something, or a silence. And then that hero gets the full duration of it, but he kind of has to preemptively cast Heavenly Grace because he's playing into Night Stalker Death Prophet, and if he gets silenced himself, he has no BKB to get out of it.
And if he wants to build one, it's going to be a long time. Sitting at 6,800 net worth, almost 2k behind the Chen. Here comes the Alliance Smoke. Fada leading the charge with Handskin. Lumbering in towards this Tier 1 tower. TNC sit back. They do show KP, who's often been the one getting caught out here. March behind him. Handskin.
We've seen it now. They had a
creeping in and gets the Edict off on the tower. Will melt it down quickly. Gabby just trying to split push up top in the meanwhile. So Tier 1 falls, and Alliance ramping up the pressure around the map. We do see an aggressive ward going down in the TNC neutrals as well. Nico Baby trying to drag these waves, keep his farm accelerated as possible. And has the Blink now too, so the gap closing potential is there.
Blink and BKB. He can just go diving on in on the back lines. The Omni's a nice target, but he is very tanky, so I think, if anything, you're actually kind of prioritizing the supports, the Coddle, the Shadow Demon.
That's what he's been doing in the fights. He got Shadow Demon very early in the last 2 engagements.
Yeah, these supports just do a lot of damage if ignored, particularly the Shadow Demon Poison and the Soul Catcher. And they're just so annoying and pesky with some of their spells. The Chakra with the cooldown reduction on the Bristle in a team fight. The Coddle Ultimate. All spells you want to try and remove if you're this Night Stalker.
And with the Blink now, he can just get on top of them, crippling Fear, and they don't have the saves.
Yeah,
here comes the Dark Ascension. Nico Baby, that's exactly what you're going to see in the bottom lane. Dives onto Tim's, assassinates him, unstoppable streak. And the chase is on.
Yeah, this has just become a hero that, if you're playing at this major, you need a...
He wants to go top. He wants to keep on fighting while he's got the Dark Ascension. Another Blink, another stun. Follow-up from the Ogre, and they get to work on Gabby. Can they slay the beast? He's got a BKB. He turns back on Fada. He smacks him apart with that mace. Insta-TP out. And he will escape, but it was a 10-second BKB for an Ogre.
He's not going to feel like he got the best value out of that first BKB usage. His team only get 1 of the 4 bounty runes as well. He does walk away with his life. That's the kind of other, I guess, small consolation prize to having to use his BKB there, as he doesn't die, but...
It's a pretty good thing to have, your own life, you know?
Yeah.
Cherish it.
Yep. You don't want to be giving this
They know his BKB's on cooldown. They could go back in on Gabby. They jump in with the blink. Void, initiation, follow-up from the Spirit Siphon. The stun is there. This percentage-based damage is doing a lot to Gabby as he tries to walk away. Nico Baby wants to keep the chase on, but his team cannot keep up. So they will have to back off. Can bring him down to half. Killing him, though, that's going to require more. As Nico Baby zones back KP with the silence, they're going to try for this again. He commits his BKB. Gabby popping the BKB again as well. That's the 9-second charge. Now they purge Nico Baby, try to force him back. But it's a second BKB usage by Gabby just to run away here. And now the tower's in danger. Creeps descending. Push ramping up.
Though. Yeah, they disengage very well here. And once that exorcism wears off, they can look to take a team fight.
Lions don't want to stick around, it seems. Courier may have been scouted here.
Oh, Armel's alone and caught top.
Nico Baby's hunting the Courier. He wants some free gold for his team. Going to catch out Armel as well. And with Hanskin coming through, no BKB on this OD. He will drop, and they might catch Gabby too. BKB in 25, such a crucial item in these fights. And for the time being, he's fine. Starts working on Hanskin. Nico Baby just ignoring the bristle. That is the game plan for Alliance. Kill everyone else, then we slay the beast, he says. And Death Prophet just slowing him down with the Spirit Siphon. The chase all the way on the high ground. Alliance going ham here, smacking away at Tim's. Nico Baby gets the kill. Now they turn back for that pesky armadillo, and they will get him. 4 heroes dead, 5 with the coddle. He buys back, but for naught.
Yeah, they're just have such a good understanding of how to play around Bristleback. He is not this very mobile hero, so once TNC is split up in a fight, they just leave that Bristle to run circles around. He's trying to chase down the backline the same way the Night Stalker is, but he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He doesn't go zooming around at nighttime. So when he's on Leshrac, he's getting kited around by the Yule Scepter, the Split Earth, while the rest of the Alliance team just kill his teammates.
Definitely punishing the immobility and now punishing towers too.
Yeah. The OD just doesn't have a game right now, it feels like, because of when he gets jumped by this Night Stalker. I think he needed to prioritize this BKB
instead of the
game.
Hurricane Pike.
Yeah, you don't feel good about rushing BKB on as any kind of carrier mid typically, but ultimately it's an essential item for TNC to even be able to take a team fight right now. And I think the big reason why he didn't is because he's got this Omni to back him up, but Omni's getting jumped on as well. It's like you need to just protect yourself because you cannot rely on KP.
Yeah, when it's nighttime with the unobstructed vision and pathing, and you have a blink on the Night Stalker, and Omni doesn't have a BKB, like you can't count on him. So often KP's either sitting super far back or getting forced out of the fight by the Night Stalker. So now a 12K lead for Alliance. They start to pull ahead with this one. You look at the TNC draft, Gods, is this a lineup to you that has that comeback potential? Can they turn this around?
Absolutely. Alliance don't have that typical hard carry. Definitely Night Stalker here that can scale very well and is itemizing to do so. Picked up the damage talent. But if you can get BKBs and get an AC on your Bristleback, their late game is, on paper, stronger. They've got 2 better carries in the Bristle and OD than what Alliance have, but I think the scary thing is Alliance have a lot of map control right now. Are pushing down all the lanes. They're going to likely get next Roshan, and TNC are going to be asked to defend before they even finish some of those key items.
They group up, take control of the Radiant Triangle with Fada. Still shoving in this mid wave. Roche is up now, nearing the 30-minute mark, and Alliance will descend on the pit. Does TNC dare contest this? They do have a ward here outside of it. They see the Chen army milling around Fada there as well, so they got to know this is happening.
Yeah. Gabby wants to go in.
They are going to smoke the preemptive Heavenly Grace thrown out onto Armel. They lead with Gabby. Roche is about a 3rd HP, but the Night Stalker jumps in. Instant assassination attempt on the Omni Knight. They banish him. They keep him in fighting shape, but he's also not healing his team during this time, so instead they collapse on March. KP as well, quickly killing them off. Tim's will be next with a clap, a glimmer cape, not running away. The detection is there. 4 heroes dead. The lone survivor, a limping Gabby. Does he just try to sneak in the pit? No, Nico Baby's onto him here. Void, blink. There'll be a full team wipe. Very likely. He runs. At least get that bounty rune. Even this will be denied to you, sir, as the BKB TP out. Oh, it doesn't feel good to be a TNC fan right now, gods.
No, this game feels like there's nothing they can do. It just seems futile. Like, all their efforts, they know fully well Alliance is in Roshan. They actually have great ward coverage up right now. Really good vision, but you run into Alliance, and how do you kill them? There's just no damage into the Chen. The Night Stalker is just too damn beefy in the front lines as well, and Gabby, despite the free lane that he had, is unable to really function as a carry right now. OD, similar thing. Without a BKB, can't play Dota. KP's getting jumped on. The saves, you've got this double save with Shadow Demon and OD, but it doesn't really feel like saves because you banish the Omni. He's not using spells until he comes out, and when he comes out, it's like the fight's already lost. Yeah, he's dead. His teammates are dead. It's a very difficult game for TNC.
They're feeling restricted, feeling confined. Resistance might be futile, but they will fight on. And Nico Baby will look to finish them off soon. He's going to go for that Nullifier pickup next. Pretty standard Night Stalker build. This has quickly become the hero of the tournament. You know, with the Morph lane usually banned out, I think we can kind of ignore him, and he was already pretty discovered before this event. But this Night Stalker coddle, and even now just the Night Stalker alone, is so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, this is not going to look much prettier anytime soon. The items coming for TNC is just this BKB on Armel, which he still needs a decent chunk of gold to complete.
Even if he gets it, I don't know. Is it going to be enough to turn the fights?
Probably not. It's going to at least let him use his spells, drop his ultimate, try build up some int, pop the BKB and just start right-clicking away on, you know, Limp or Nico. Nico Baby's got BKB, but if you can just build up some int and drop a good ultimate, it at least gives him a fighting chance because OD needs to be the damage output for this TNC draft.
See if he can make the difference. Alliance want to end it soon. They've still got the DD here for a decent amount of time, and Nico Baby grouping up with the team, leading the charge up to the Radiant High Ground.
It's daytime, but they don't care.
They've got the Bloodlust, they've got the Exorcism. They'll slow this down with the Blinding Light, but not going to help you against the Death Prophet as long as Limp can stay alive. Spirit Siphon, keep him in fighting shape.
Oh, he can stay alive.
Yeah, he's tanky. He's still got cheese as well, and they just don't have burst damage, but Armel is starting to stack up the Arcane Orb steals. He's up to 36, drops the hammer. The cheese comes through. Limp stays alive. Can they win in round 2 of the fight with Nico Baby marching to the backlines? Everybody's fine. The Omni Knight ult well timed. Gabby, though, in danger, hounding him back to these tier 4 towers. Alliance have not claimed the Rex yet, though. They've gotten the tower. Exorcism now over, and Limp just wants to get away. Armel up to 64 stolen in, but he gets pushed in too far. Tries to push himself back out. It's not enough. Great offensive force staff there as Alliance surging forward, looking for the catch out on KP, melting them down with the Pulse Nova, the buyback from Armel, but he's got to start over with the int steal. No BKB for him anytime soon. Alliance chasing back to the fountain, in fact. They keep on thrusting forward. Shadow Poison stacking up on Nico Baby for what it's worth at this stage. Armel back into the fray, working on Fada, gets the stun, says, take me, leave my team, please. But Gabby wants more than just that.
Oh, he
chases on to 33. This Bristleback chasing the back lines, and Fada.
He's still alive.
Still alive. Finally going to go down. But can they get other kills? There's still an Aegis to worry about on Nico Baby. Gabby's in deep. He's committing into 4 heroes during this time. Gets stunned. Spirit Siphon afflicting him, and most of them getting out. It looks like Hanskin should escape too. Armel too late. Couldn't get the Astral off. Lip TPing out. All they get is a sad, sad Ogre.
Yeah, and that Ogre was throwing away his life for the team. TNC knew what he was doing. Like, we're going to ignore you. But in the end, survived for a hell of a lot longer. But some great defensive retreat plays coming from Alliance, who end up, losing nothing significant on the retreat. They don't claim the Rex with the Aegis, but once an Exorcism wears off, I think TNC understood that they can actually charge forward. But it costs them key buybacks, and that's going to slow down Armel's BKB on OD. the big play being made there. It was 33, of course, with the 4-stuff plays. We saw it yesterday. This guy is a hell of a playmaker and pushes the OD into a terrible position in that team fight.
Alliance on offense again now. Darkness falls and Night Stalker prowls. Nico Baby hunting. There's a Glimmer Cape from Tim's. And they'll converge on this shrine with the Diabolic Edict, quickly taking it out. Nice lifetime stats for Handskin. And the map control game just starting to go more and more the Alliance way as time goes on.
Yeah, when they had that big push with Aegis, they took out all of the Radiant Vision. Dire themselves don't have much vision up, but they're the ones who have a much easier time pushing out these lanes and applying pressure. Just feels like TNC have to play very grouped and huddled up.
So Armel should have BKB next fight. It's not going to have buyback anyway for a while. I imagine you just buy it. We'll see if it's the difference maker.
A much better fighting chance. If he can build up a lot of int. He tried to blow up Limp last fight with the Sanities after getting some int, but Limp popped the cheese just before it hit. Not sure it would be enough damage as OD didn't have that much stolen int, but...
Yeah, Limp is sitting on 150 base, or not base int, but total int here. He's actually got more than the OD, so...
That's... Unless, yeah, OD builds up a hell of a lot of int, he's not doing much damage with that ultimate to Death Prophet.
Yeah, she tends to be in front, I guess, so you're normally able to hit her. Steal her in, so kind of get the double whammy. Give it to yourself, take it away from them. But look at this, Nico Baby smoked up.
He's going to see Tim's. He's
looking for that initiation, and he's just going to dive Tim's straight onto him at the tier 4s. Wrecks his face. No buyback. Now with the Exorcism, they've got a power play. Alliance looking for this Rax, maybe looking for Gabby as well. Armel standing strong, has the BKB, doesn't want to use it too early, but they've already lost something here. Nico Baby just goes onto him with the BKB, hammering away at him. He's got the nullifier. The BKB finally comes out from Armel. Not sure it's going to matter, though. Dove to the fountain. One more hit, not enough. But that is a completely wasted OD BKB. I guess it keeps him alive, but it's not doing damage. It's not getting kills, and they are losing Rax.
And it was the same story. The Bristleback BKB ran in. He tunnel visioned the Chen. He's just so focused on trying to deal with this AoE like heal and sustain the Chen provides, but even with that focus, Chen had the bonus armor from the Ogre Frost Mage, had all the heals, and came close to dying, but it still wasn't enough.
I mean, with all the heals, the effective H and the armor, like, what is the effective HP on this Chen? It's got to be like 3,000 plus easily, right? Maybe even 4K. Gabby getting slowed down by the Spirit Siphon here. Fada with the stun, forcing him back. Line looks like they should just chill, reset, wait for this Exorcism to cool down. Maybe get the Octarine on Limp. Next Roche, not too far off. Yeah, no need to rush it.
The Exorcism is being the key spell that makes it impossible to fight into. Nightstalker's job is just to blink on the backlands on the supports, but you need that Exorcism to prevent TNC from committing to a fight of their own.
They might not need to wait. Nico Baby hits a DD route with the Bloodlust, just mashing down this Bristleback. Not looking so bossy after all. Keeps on working on him. BKB deployed, defensive retreat. But this is going to potentially leave other heroes caught out. Omni Knight silence, stunned, 4-step away. Nico Baby charging forward, just hammering him down. Another banish. Good kiting by TNC. Armel committed his BKB though. Yeah. Only 4 stolen in. He is just not getting the stacks in these fights.
Yeah, he could have built up some stacks then. And if Nico Baby over-commits with his BKB wearing off, there's a glimmer of hope for that Sanities to just blow up Nightstalker. That's the play OD's going to be looking for. The shorter this Nightstalker BKB gets, the more vulnerable he becomes, but Armel has to play in position around making sure that he can punish the Nightstalker's over-aggression. He needs to stay alive in these fights.
Closing on a level 25 as well. So they're going to have to worry about that always, well, not always up, but feels like almost always ready Dark Ascension. Yeah. You know, 30 seconds every 80 seconds.
It's a perfect talent for Nightstalker to make up for his probably his biggest weakness is just the downtime. When it's daytime, even if you have Dark Ascension, you've got a very small window to take fights, but the 25 talent makes up for a lot of that.
So Octarine also grabbed on the Death Prophet, so the cooldowns being the one potentially big issue for Alliance, but those are about to be eliminated as a problem.
Yeah, those two heroes with their long cooldowns and ults has been what slowed this game down. and allow TNC to farm up some items to give them a glimmer of hope, but those windows are going to be smaller and smaller as time goes on, and got Roshan coming up for
You know, the way
Alliance.
it's developed, it feels like they needed a super fat OD. You know, like the Bristle getting the early farm, just matchup-wise, does not seem very useful.
I absolutely agree. The OD needed to kind of pop off this game. He's 0-5-5. Part of that is as a result of, it hasn't felt like OD's had an Omni Knight backing him up this game, because KP struggled as well, as is the case playing against Night Stalker. And this Night Stalker hero is just looking like a carry that every team needs to be able to run, because it is so insanely powerful right now. And TNC, they're the ones who kind of brought it into the meta as a carry, so they know better than anyone what this hero can do, but they're also showing they don't quite know how to play into it.
Just because you can win with him doesn't mean you can beat him. We've seen that enough times with the Morphling, so wonder if he gets the ban, or depends who is first picked, I suppose, going into the next game.
Felt like TNC were hoping to maybe pick it when they got that third pick Coddle. They wanted that Coddle Bristle duo we've seen so much of, but Alliance, as we saw in the tournament, happy to kind of block pick it. And TNC maybe questioning their draft after this one, that they should have picked prioritized the Night Stalker higher.
KP caught out here by Nico Baby, will TP away. The little victories. You need every scrap you can get when you're down 34K. But a fresh cheese on Limp, an Aegis on Nico Baby, and a push coming down mid. I'll play this one safe for now. Let the Chen army build up, make sure all 3 lanes are fully shoved in before they go for anything. So it's a Handskin over to top. It's Nico Baby was just bottom lane, now rotating onto mid.
And Chen
Lions
playing,
biding their time, maybe wait for that next Knight.
Chen is playing with these 2,000 health creeps now. He got the talent for it, so getting some Ancients and getting some unconventional Chen creeps in a sense. The 2 Ancients he's got with the Frenzy, which gives a ton of attack speed to one of your teammates, and also the Big Prowler, which just can shred apart the base armor of some of these heroes.
Yeah, you combine that with a Bloodlusted Night Stalker, man. That is brutal.
Yeah, he did not need that Hunter in the Night attack speed talent at 25 at all. Not that you would get it anyways, but with Bloodlust and Frenzy, he's just hitting like a madman already.
And he's also got a Consumed Moonshard, which I guess we didn't mention yet. So how many attacks a second do we have here?
Yeah, that one came out of nowhere. He is insanely fast.
0.5 second attack speed during the daytime. And I don't think he doesn't have the creep buff either.
Yeah. So he's got the Bloodlust back, so he's happy.
I mean, it's going to be like 3 attacks a second, I think, with all the buffs. Maybe even closer to 4. Gabby caught out here mid. Nico Baby does have the Dark Ascension if they want to commit. Going to play it safe, though. All the lanes pushing. Alliance starting to close in on this TNC base. And Limp deploys the Exorcism. It's go time. Dark Ascension up as well. They get the silence off on the OD. Nico Baby looking for his jump. The Void first, trying to force out some spells. Nothing big just yet. But Gabby's out in front. Fighting into the Exorcism. The OD getting pushed around like a ping pong ball. Nico Baby taking decent damage here to the Quills, but they've still got the Chen heals in reserve if needed. Stays alive, pops the Hand of God. He's going to retreat out. OD, 24 stolen it. Doesn't feel like it's enough just yet. He's got a BKB, and again, it is a defensive BKB. Alliance just backing off. They do have to wait for Exorcism if they back here.
I think TNC, with the stolen it, they may feel a little bit confident to try and chase and take a fight here, but we'll see if it's
there's also no nighttime just yet. We're waiting a minute for that on the Alliance side. So this could be your best opportunity if you're TNC. Bristleback getting pushed back, trying to retreat out to safety. They're working on him slowly. KP keeps him up in fighting shape. Tim City behind him. Stay behind the super boss. And Gabby runs back in. Has that completed AC now. Stands his ground, but he gets pushed forward into the enemy backlines, and now Night Stalker re-engaging. He's got a fresh Dark Ascension up and online, and he hammers his way through him. Keeps on charging forward, working for the Omni Knight. They're going to throw him up in the air and look for a bit more. KP, they're purging him, slowing him down, trying to get this Omni Knight back to safety. Gets banished. That might just allow Elias to set up here with the Handskin stun, but that forces out the buyback. Bristleback re-engaging. Gabby comes in for round 2. Has his BKB in 50, so not for a while. Exorcism up in 15 meanwhile. Oh, they got to be careful not to overstay their welcome. TNC chasing forward. Armel with 44 in.
A lot of it.
Decent hammer comes through, gets the Fada kill. Not enough. You really need a core. And Hanskin going for the BKB TP. Not going to make it. So they get the supports, but it costs them a buyback.
Yeah. Doesn't feel worth it. There's just so much damage being done by Alliance in terms of the economy. You see a 38k gold lead for Alliance. That's like the kind of gold lead you expect in like a mega one-sided stomp. TNC are holding their own. It's looking still fairly competitive, like TNC have a chance in these fights, but the fact they have to commit all of these buybacks, the Bristle one's so valuable at this stage, is really concerning, but Gabby will have his own level 25 soon. Picks up a Basher as well, so recognizing he just needs more damage, more control. And again, it's 33 again. He's the one who got the Bristle killed there. He four-staffs him in. This guy is so good at using this four-staff offensively.
Did it earlier to the OD up top as well.
Yeah.
So at least the second time. Oh, they found Tim's. And they killed Tim's.
Easy kill. Yeah, second time this game and probably like the fourth or fifth time this tournament, it feels like, watching him play. Did on the Legion Commander when he got a very unconventional four-staff there.
KP, that's not your base. Oh, looks like the Crippling Fear got used. Blinks in. And they try to go on the Omni Knight here with the Spirit Siphon. Now the Ignis used defensively to get them back to safety. Limp. Charging in towards the high ground. Just dancing around Armel. Getting sucked back a little bit by the Ignis. Nico Baby fearlessly also splitting up and heading to bottom. Now they're going to group. They want to take this Rex, get a second lane. 42k net worth advantage. It feels real tough for TNC, but they hang on.
Exorcism wears off at least, so they'll have some breathing room. I don't imagine Alliance go for a straight-up push right now, but they may still stick around because they have map control, they have the wards up, so with it being nighttime, they definitely want to not let TNC move out of their base too much here.
Let's wait for that next Roche, perhaps, if they really want to be safe.
Yeah, I don't think you're in a huge rush to end this game with your Alliance, even though
your Bristle got your Ogre got a 30-minute Midas, so, you know, late game secured.
Yeah, he's got Axe Scepter, he's got a Hex queued up. This is a late game secured Ogre build. So even though the late game scaling of heroes like OD and even Bristleback is on paper better than what Alliance have, I don't think it's going to actually look that way when it's a 40k plus gold lead. And you've got supports with 13, 14k net worth. They're heavily out farming the Omni Knight. TNC supports a true like 5 positions at this stage, although Tim's will have an axe soon, so the break against Hunter in the Night can be pretty potent here. That's one thing that will be very useful in these team fights.
Yeah, we'll see if that makes the difference. Still very hard to actually get the kill on Nico Baby with the BKB, all the armor, the Chen heals especially. But they will try to make it count. TNC still very much bottled up in their base. Now 50 minutes into the game nearly. They've been trailing pretty much for about 30 of those. But showing good resilience, and Alliance definitely giving them respect. You know, this is not like the Fnatic games yesterday, BMing before victory secured.
TNC have looked like one of the best teams in the world, at least, you know, a top 3 candidate since TI. Obviously, a lot of the previous maybe top 3 in the world not playing at this major right now and haven't been playing since TI, but these guys won ESL 1 and have been on a tear, so big part of why Alliance is showing them so much respect right now.
They will chill, they will wait. And does TNC even consider leaving their base? I'm going to say no.
It doesn't feel like. I don't actually know if you want to. Yeah, contesting Roshan feels like a way to just make the game end faster and risk it. The Aegis doesn't.
There's a better way to make the game end faster. You can just GG out if you want that.
I mean, they're not thinking about how to end this game fast. So they wanted to keep dragging and give themselves a hope to win, but I think that hope is built around how they play their high ground defense. Ultimately, Aegis doesn't swing the needle that much for Alliance anymore because the Exorcism is that big long cooldown they're playing around. Night Stalker's kind of 6-slot anyways. Giving him an Aegis doesn't.
They are going to get a refresher shard this time, right?
Yeah.
So that could be.
It's.
Well, she's already got a full refresher completed. Never mind that.
It's still a nice thing to have. You could give it even for a Chen for like double Hand of God.
Radiant Courier sniped. It had a Hex on it.
That's the OD, I guess, yeah.
Oh no.
That's
3 minutes. Let's hope this Roche takes a little while longer. If you're a TNC fan.
Yeah. It's a very big key item for Armel. It's not just the Hex aspect, it's also an in item. It gives him a lot more damage output on that Sandy's Eclipse with the 35 intelligence you get from the Scythe device. But doesn't feel like Alliance are going to push until they do have that next Roshan. We'll see if TNC try and contest it. All signs point to no, because theoretically Roche could have respawned anytime in the last like minute or 2 minutes, so TNC haven't left their base to contest Roche. They're not looking to. They're saying let's play into Aegis Cheese. Ags Refresher. There's a second Ags coming out now. We'll see who gets that one. Nightstalker already used the Ags Blessing on himself, so it's probably, I guess, Death Prophet. She can sell her Ags or something. I don't know. Maybe even Leshrac gets an Ags. It's, who knows?
Look at this Chen army, man. It's like he's like blocking the whole river. He's got so many creeps at this point.
God, level 25 Chen.
By the way, they have double Hex now, and that's as OD just picks his up. The Chen out farming the OD. I think this is one of the biggest things about the Night Stalker is when he gets ahead, your team just gets all the bounty runes all game long.
This is
insane.
I love these level 25 talents. They make Dota so interesting. Like, Chen with all these creeps and the extra 1,000 health on them.
God, this is disgusting, dude.
This is disgusting, and it's
one
way to try and end the game.
They have, what, 6 Cloak Auras stacked? You gotta be kidding me.
I see 73% magic resistance on a neutral, and then...
That's a big deal against the Sanity's Eclipse, too. Like, even if he has a lot of stolen in.
Yep. It's a problem.
It's really all about the orb, if anything, I feel like now.
I mean, Bristle needs to just try and clear them out with the AoE quills. He didn't actually get the quill stack damage. It's not the greatest talent. He wanted that health regen. So I don't blame him there at all, but it does feel like slightly less AoE damage, but...
I think he's recognizing what we've seen is like AoE damage is just not going to work against Alliance. Yeah. You have to be able to burst someone. I don't know who you're bursting. 4,200 HP Ogre, 3,500 HP Death Prophet, Night Stalker 3,600, Chen 2,000, Lesh with an Aegis.
Here we go. Refresher Death Prophet. They're looking to push high ground.
Put them out of their misery, Alliance. 58k gold lead.
It's still hard. That gold lead does not paint the full picture.
We'll see. Limp coming in, gets off Exorcism #1. Silence coming through on the OD. The Chain Stun coming out. Gabby forced back for now. Still has the Abyssal Blade. Now getting multicasted again and again. Slowly dropping low. Limp out in front, but the Spirit Siphon's just forcing Armel immediately on his heels. He lobs in the Hex. Limp takes some decent damage. The Hammer completely ineffective. They'll keep on fighting, though. Try to work on this Night Stalker as BKB charged in. Gabby in the front lines.
Slow.
Doing decent work with the break on the Night Stalker. They might be able to kill him. It's the Orbs doing the damage. Armel chasing forward. 33, forced back. Don't sleep on this OD. He's going to get a second kill. No buybacks. Alliance thought there was no way in hell they could lose that fight, and they were wrong.
Yeah, so their approach to that fight, Nico Baby was just camping over the trees to the south and just trying to jump in on the Shadow Demon, but KP made a clutch play. He just instantly 4-staffs and GA. He GAs to save his Shadow Demon's life there. That SD does not have buyback, and Tim's, because he gets saved from the silencing Night Stalker, he's able to get that purge off, and Night Stalker is trapped by like the enemy tier 4s. He is in so deep because of that. The one spell that Night Stalker can't play against is this Demonic Purge. So as long as Tim's gets that off on Night Stalker, the fight can go very well for TNC, as we just saw.
I think it's a sign of the game that Alliance did not have buybacks on these heroes, because they didn't think it was possible to die, really.
Yeah.
And even if they did, they probably assumed, well, we would have won the fight anyway.
Gabby hits like a truck now with this level 25 talent.
600 damage a hit, almost.
Yeah. He builds up those... Well, when he's not silenced, he builds up that damage very quickly. Oh, bottom lane Creeps trying to get the Rex, though.
March holds the line.
There was a Chen Black Dragon just trying to clear out some waves and apply some pressure. They need to get the health regen kicking in, push out this bot lane. Not the biggest deal to lose a melee Rex when you're 55 minutes in. Oh, well, I guess it's a second lane, but it's still something you want to try and protect.
If somehow TNC wins this game, you just have to wonder, was Alliance too safe, too careful?
I'm not sure I'm fully buying into this Dota Plus win probability being 97%.
I think with that net worth advantage, it just breaks the calculator.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's ever lost with a 50K net worth advantage, surely, right? Oh, you might be wrong here.
Don't get me wrong, Alliance heavily favored still, but it is a very difficult game to close out. That high ground defense is beastly. I think Nightstalker needs to just kind of rethink his approach and maybe just be more of... He perhaps should have taken the Aegis and be more of a building hitter. He can't just tunnel vision on these supports because TNC have all these defensive items. These Force Staffs on both Omni as well as Coddle. They're just going to look to bail each other out. Whoever Nightstalker goes on is going to get pushed around to get out of that silence.
Yeah, you've got a double banish, the Omni Knight, the Force Staff you mentioned, the Glimmer Cape on Tim's, and he's not going to be able to carry a gem. So if he's too far past the team, then that Glimmer will also help save them. So, like you said, Nico Baby might need to reevaluate what worked earlier. Doesn't seem as effective now, but they are going to try again. This Rax is low. There is no glyph available, and they charge forward. Limp deploying the Exorcism rather early, but the Shivas comes out, and Armel starts to get to work here. They're going to try to sheep him up, but that very irritating Heavenly Grace keeping him in the fight for now. Limp, BKB ending, perhaps in trouble now with the Ignis coming through. Still not very much stolen in on this OD, only 4. And they've lost the Rax. Could just be a retreat from Alliance now. They don't have to stick around. Hanska BKB just to run away. The Ignis still afflicting them, finally going to expire. But Alliance, if they get out, will be very happy with this. They might lose Fada. It's a loss you can accept. Still chasing him. TNC are going to back down.
Yeah. Enskin surviving through it all. TP's out, gets pulled back in by the Chen. Nice risky call from him there to save his own life.
When the enemy 5 position has 4,200 health, 19 armor, and a cheese, you're not chasing for that kill.
20K net worth 5 position. I mean, you see this 56K gold lead, it's reflected in the supports.
And that is why you get the 30-minute Midas.
Yep, 30-minute Midas, you got GPM talents.
It might sound like a meme, but it's not.
Yeah. And Chen didn't get his GPM talent, but I don't think he's regretting it with the fun he's having with all these creeps. And if there's any player who can micro this many units, 33 is probably one of the best micro players in Dota.
All right, so they've got still the Refresher Orb online for Limp. They have a DD on Nico Baby. Pretty likely to have one at 57 minutes with full map control.
Oh yeah. The game plan's changed. Alliance is just focusing buildings now. Before, Nightstalker was tunnel vision too much on killing supports. Now they just want to kill buildings.
Hex comes out. OD with 36 stolen in. He gets counter Hex, but the Heavenly Grace keeps him in fighting shape. They'll push him back to safety. Gabby surrounded, getting chain stun, getting a little bit dangerously. No, they know that Heavenly Grace has already been used. He'll be kept alive for now by the defensive banish. Now he's going to have to BKB. Charges in, working on Fado. Gets pushed back as well. Limp just committing towards the Rax. The game can't handle all the spells flying out right now. Armel, though, getting a lot of it. Up to 60, up to 68. Drops the hammer. It's only on a BKB. Nico Baby doesn't do a thing. Now he's in trouble with this Hex coming back the other way. It's Limp's turn to engage, but he walks into the Ignis. He walks into the Orbs. Limp has to be careful. He's committed his Refresher. He has another exorcism. They fought their way through this Ignis. This would probably be the best time to force the fight. Hanskin, though, may go down here. Gabby's going for it. Gabby's going for it. He's not going to get it. He's out for 2 minutes. We'll have to buy back if they want to have any hope of turning this around. There's the buyback. Armel, though, 88 stolen it, 92 stolen it. Just keep that OD alive. He's your last hope. He's your only hope, but the creeps are the MVPs as they just keep on building. Mowing down buildings. They will get that melee Rax. Limp jumping back in. Nico Baby's there as well. Bristleback will end up having to run away at a shred of HP. Can he make it out of here? Meanwhile, the Hex onto the Omni Knight, trying to bring him down. He does get banished at the perfect moment. Isolated,
they have no damage. Alliance is full health.
The OD has no stacks. He's got to start all over again with this buyback, and they've already lost a full 3 lanes. It's mega creeps now. TNC up against the ropes. Can they possibly turn this one around? Hanskin getting bashed, getting controlled, finished off with the Abyssal Blade committed there. And they have isolated Fada in the trees, so they're going to get the supports.
But they have buybacks.
But only the supports.
They got megas. I think Limp just learned, like, well, we can't really kill them unless they overcommit on us. I'm just going to focus these buildings. And what Alliance are also learning is that they are unkillable because that fight went for like a minute and the entire Alliance team still had full health. There is just so much damage block and mitigation coming in from the Chen with all that magic damage block and the heals coming into play. Nothing TNC can do to really get these kills outside of OD getting... I think he needs like 100 stolen in and to hit everyone in that sound.
He had about 100 stolen in, but yeah,
right.
The ult only had a BKB Night Stalker, I believe.
Yeah, he needs a refresher, which he has queued up. The double ultimate would definitely maybe change at least the outlook of a team fight like that, but you're down mega creeps now. Alliance, theoretically, it should be smoother sailing, but it's still a game where they have to kill the throne. TNC are not going to give up.
We are beginning to plumb the depths of late game Dota now. It's 1 hour in. Opening match of the day. A grinder. Even if Alliance take this, they can't really just chill and feel like, that was a nice easy 1-0 advantage. Yeah. They've had to work for it.
This is, it's starting to feel like a major now. You know, the playoffs has just begun and we're seeing some top tier crazy Dota already.
Yeah, they're also working on an Omni Knight refresher for KP. Could be pretty impactful.
They just need, they just want all the spells they can get. Coddle has a refresher. OD has refresher and 500 gold. He doesn't have buyback money, so he may as well just buy it. So
the Ignis has been very disruptive in these fights. So the double Ignis could be even more so. Combine that with the OD refresher that is now complete. TNC just got to be careful lacking buybacks on all 3 of their cores. So one hero getting caught out is almost certainly the game.
The really difficult thing about these fights for TNC, and the big part of why they're not doing damage, is the silence of Death Prophet particularly. Like these, when they silence, you're not going to BKB on either Bristle or OD just to get rid of silence. But the problem is OD or Bristle are in the front lines trying to like right-click people, steal int, use quills to build up your Warpath stacks. But if you're silence, you can't do that. So BKB is so hard to use because you don't want to. You need to save it for like when you hard commit into a fight, but at the same time, you're unable to do damage without popping it, and just a 5-second BKB is not cutting it.
Roshan up, runes aplenty. There's a juicy DD down bottom, has not been scouted, and they'll move into the pit. Doesn't look like TNC have any hopes of contesting this. Megas to fight, no buybacks and cores. They'll give it up to Alliance. So another refresher shard, another Aghanim's Blessing.
Who hasn't got Ags? Everyone has Ags, right? You just start giving it to the people so they can get an extra item slot. So Fata might get this one. I think everyone.
I guess so. I think they all have it.
Yeah, they have 4 Ags synths already. So Fata gets this one.
They'll enjoy the spoils of yet another Roche kill.
Just chilling, leaving a cheese and Ag's Blessing in the pit.
No Radiant Courier shenanigans.
Yeah,
I see.
They just don't have room for this. They're too much.
Somebody
too much
take the cheese.
Too
Surely somebody's hungry. It's been an hour game, guys. Have a snack.
Yeah, it's aged well.
No, they're gonna let it curate.
Oh, there he goes. Fata gets the Blessing, and he gets to sell his Ag. So now he's got 8k gold. Buy a full Lotus Orb.
Man, the opulence and the state of the game when you just leave the cheese. They've shown no signs of even sending the courier.
This is late game Clowny Dota. There's the Lotus Orb. Can consider like an E-Blade if he wants to upgrade his Ghost Scepter, but does of course want to have buyback.
Alliance are still resting and waiting. Let the creeps do the heavy lifting. Armel gets off an early Hex here. He gets counter Hex, but the permanent Heavenly Grace on both cores. It's the Omni Knight who needs to stay alive. BKB committed by Lip, but they're going to start to converge on these tier 4s. Melting quickly to the Exorcism. He will back away. They get 1. They've also got to worry about this Diabolic Edict as Handskin fences in and out of the fight. They isolate Armel. Only 24 stolen in. They can't lose him. He's got no buyback. He's getting chain stunned. Defensive banish. KP commits the GA during this time, but he's not hitting. He's hexed. He's healed. It's not enough. Another banish. Alliance just bringing down buildings, turning over for the racks, ignoring the heroes almost, only hitting them to push them away. The Ignis comes through. It's a massacre of goo everywhere, spraying all over Alliance. They might lose Nico Baby. With this Ignis, they're going to kill him off. TNC are holding for now. He's got a buyback. Does he commit it? Or do they just accept the tier 4s back away? Fata turns in. There's the multi-cast. Ding, ding, indeed. They get the kill. They might need more. KP standing strong. This AoE goo doing some nice work.
They're trying to focus the throne here with the
It's still
edict.
at half HP though. Do they have the damage? The Death Prophet. It's not enough for now.
TNC
Limp's
have to get
charging
in there.
They get more kills. They get Handskin as well. There's no buyback on 2 of these heroes. The creeps are being held off. TNC standing against all odds. Fada sounds the retreat. He TP's out, and TNC hold for now.
For now. And it's one of those things, Alliance, you still got, what, the tier 4 towers. They're just looking to slowly chip away at this base. And if they can come back before this throne is fully healed up, they're going to be tunnel visioning the throne. Like, yeah, you have a few heroes to kind of kite around the heroes, but this throne is very exposed. TNC cannot afford to let Death Prophet or Leshrac get on top of it. They still hold and keep their hopes and dreams alive. The OD dead for 70 seconds will probably get a chance to respawn and still play in this game, but man, are these fights insane. There's just so much
The
crap flying around
AoE
everywhere.
Goo seemed like the difference maker that fight. Gabby with the Aghanim's Blessing just
Oh, yeah.
shredding the Chen army.
They need Guardian Angel back up. Omni Knight has an Ags queued up. He wants to be able to Guardian Angel the throne. KP may, yeah, sell your wand or something, dude. Just get that Aghanims. And there it is. So Ags Guardian Angel increases the duration and allows it to affect buildings, which is actually so crucial if you TNC want to have a chance. Yeah. Because both Death Prophet and Leshrac shred buildings, and they are going to be trying to kill the throne while Night Stalker, Ogre just, you know, stun people and run at heroes. Here they come.
Once more under the breach. Limp surging forward, walks right into Gabby, pops the BKB. Ignis committed. He's just going to go straight for it. Throne dropping very quickly. They need to keep this throne alive. The Guardian Angel deployed. Limp down to about half HP here. He's already used up his Aeon Disc. Can they finish off this throne? Nico Baby just hammering away, but this GA is proving such a nuisance. Handskin and Nico Baby.
He reversed back.
He sold for Refresher. He's dead. He's dead. They've held TNC. They keep that Night Stalker
He
off.
sold everything. What a call.
Oh, man.
His items. Look at this Omni build. You don't see this every day. They hold, but it's only 1 kill.
It's 2 minutes.
They can't do anything, though. It still feels hopeless. Oh, as clutch as that hold is, as much as it was such a smart call from KP to sell everything to get this refresher, it still feels like there's no plays they can make.
Well, they can tilt Alliance. That's
yeah.
for sure.
Alliance are just, yeah, they're bashing their head against a wall, but they have foreheads made of steel right now because eventually it feels like TNC are going to crack.
Actually, 6 heads. They have an ogre. just for the record. Bristleback snagging a Battle Fury here. And he will get hexed out. Stunned up. Follow-up comes through. They've actually got quite a few heroes around him. They're getting all the creep clear they can muster. Trying to push these lanes out. Trying to hang on. Buying time for the Omni Knight. Guardian Angel up in about a minute.
Yeah, that's how you keep this throne alive. And look how much it's healed too.
It's already 3,200 HP.
That health regen.
Alliance super slow rolling this. You know, they could have like maybe tried to commit further there, use the Night Stalker buyback, but they opt to play it safe.
They might go with Night Stalker respawn Boots of Travel because Guardian Angel's still down for 35 seconds. So there's a small window now with no Guardian Angel. Night Stalker will TP himself in or get pulled in by a Chen.
Gabby stunned for days. He could take a lot of punishment.
20 seconds, no Guardian Angel still. That's 1 Ignis down as well. Coddle has Refresher though.
Doesn't have boots, so needs to just hug this tower. This Bristleback. He is a slow man, and here comes the double hex. Follow-up silence coming through. Ignis getting deployed, and they're going to rush past it. DP, no, actually focusing on heroes for now. They're just ignoring the buildings for the time being. Alliance dancing around. They want to kill off Armel. Can they slay the beast? Armel, no. GA #1 coming out. Doesn't have the second GA for 45 seconds. Alliance have baited it out. Can they commit now onto the throne? Just get the job done. Armel is dead. He's got an insta buyback. He's going to pop it. Alliance dancing in and out. There's the hex. OD ult drop does nothing once again. It's a whipper, not a bang. Second ult. I don't know if he's got enough stolen in here, Gods. But more. Maybe just the orbs. Maybe the orbs on Nico Baby, forcing him back and away. They can't get the kill.
This throne is still
Nico
alive. This
Baby.
throne is still fine.
And Nico Baby has the buyback. Doesn't use it this time. He does. He's going to go all in. They're going to look to BOT back in, take this throne right here, right now. But it stands strong. The
OG8
Quills,
for 10.
the Goo, holding back. It's Defense of the Ancient.
G8
Made
5.
real. Gabby low, alive, and OD Hammer number
G8
two.
2.
Ineffective, and they can't do it. TNC. Oh, they worked for it.